So let's talk a little bit about materials. And to do that, I want to kind of start with the end result and then kind of show you how we got there. So to do that, I'm going to start over here on this alignment. I'm going to create a corridor, and I'll just call it centerline. I'm going to use an Alt down arrow, select this template that I've already got created. I'll just start somewhere in here. I'll hit the Alt key to snap to the end. We'll accept our prompts, and we will create our corridor. Now, the nice thing about this is twofold, really. First is that obviously the model, the 3D model, is created, but beyond that, you'll notice that all of the material assignments are automatically made. So as a user, I don't have to worry about coming in and assigning those after the fact. Those are kind of preset or pre-done for me. Now the question is, how does that work, or how is that configured? So to answer that question, I want to start out in the Create Template dialog. Here's the two-lane urban that I just selected. If I go look at my base component, you'll see right here under feature definitions that I'm using the feature definition called base. So that's the feature that it's going to use to define its symbology, to define what it looks like in the 3D model. So to see how that works, I'm going to come back over to Project Explorer. I'm going to go to my libraries, and under my feature definitions, you'll see here I've got linear. Now these are all my 2D definitions, which are the edge of pavements, the center line, the shoulders, the sidewalks, things like that. And then I've got these surface definitions. Now how these are created are covered in detail under the feature videos. But let's say, for example, I've already got these created. So I'm going to right click on base, which is the one we just looked at in the template, and I'm going to go to properties. Now you'll notice under properties you have several options. You have and one of the option here is 3D. So this is saying, how do you want this component to look in 3D? And you'll notice that I've defined it using a MicroStation element template. So when you want to define how something looks in 3D, you do that through the use of or how a surface looks in 3D, you do that through the use of an element template in MicroStation. So let's go over to our element template DGN library and see how this is defined. So I'm going to go, and you can see here I'm in my element templates. I'm going to go down the element pull down, go to my element template dialog, and you can see here I've got these excess surfaces, and underneath this I've got one called base. Now you'll notice that right now base is set to go on a particular level, particular color, line style, and weight, but you'll notice there's no material. So how does it pick up the material? Well, it does this through your level manager or through your level library. You'll notice here that in this level library that each of the levels, in my case pavement base, has a material assigned to it. By the way, sometimes the material will be turned off by default. You can just right click up here on the columns and you can turn on material, and you'll be able to see this option. So you can see that that level has this stone 1 material assigned to it. So basically what will happen is any area, any kind of shape, any kind of 3D element or solid will actually have the material just assigned automatically for you. So it's as simple as that. You just assign the material to a particular level, and then again any shape or any 3D solid placed in 3D will automatically have that assigned to it. Now I mentioned earlier that there's actually two ways of doing this. So let's go back to the element templates, and let's go back down here to our base element template. Now the one that we did, notice it just used the pavement definition or the level definition of pavement base in order to assign the material. But let's say you didn't want to do it that way. You can add the material directly to the element template. So I can come in here, just right click, do an add, and you'll have the option for material. I could come right here and actually come in here and pick a particular material, and that way it's based on the element template definition and not specifically the pavement based definition of the level. So either one of those are valid when we're identifying materials to be used in 3D.